Right after paying off our last car loan, I found my wife's disgusting Reddit post. Married to a pathetic, spineless loser. He will never amount to anything. I fake every smile, every compliment. Sometimes I wonder how much lower I can sink before cheating with a real man. I saved the screenshot, watched her laugh about me in the comments, and closed the tab. I stayed silent and created a revenge plan, pretending everything was fine. Hey everyone. Before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. Last night my phone was, so I'd cake. Maybe this is just a vent, or maybe I just want to see if anyone else has seen something like this. But honestly, I'm still kind of shaking. And I don't even know if that's from anger or just straight up being pissed off at how fake someone can be. For years. I guess if anyone wants receipts, I got screenshots, but obviously I'm not dropping them. Anyway, here goes. Last Friday, we paid off the last bit of our car loan. It was this whole thing for us because we had been making the payments for like 5 years. And we even did this dumb little at-home cheers with some leftover Procco she found in the back of the fridge. She was weird about it though. I remember thinking at the time like, why does she seem so relieved? Not even happy relieved, just like something got lifted off her. She kept checking her phone, texting, not really looking at me. I asked if she wanted to go out for dinner or something, and she just shrugged and said she was tired, so we stayed in. I watched some YouTube in the living room. She went off to bed early. The next day she was all normal again, like made coffee, left my mug out, started talking about new furniture for the living room, which, LMAO, we don't even need, and was even scrolling Pinterest and talking about paint colors. I figured, okay, maybe she was just wiped last night, but something was still off. She kept snickering at her phone. She never showed me what she was looking at, but she'd laugh to herself, say stuff like, oh, it's nothing, just someone's dumb meme, and then plug her phone back in. For most people I wouldn't care, but she's never been one to hide her screen from me. So, I started getting this weird gut feeling. Here's the thing. My wife Ramona and I met like not the usual way. We were both volunteering in Louisiana after a hurricane. She was in some church group. I was just there with a couple of buddies because my dad grew up down there. We both ended up rebuilding the same house for almost 2 weeks straight. Honestly, that was the best we ever got along. She was always into being the helper. Always liked being the one who organized stuff, got people together, made the plans. That's been her MO forever. She likes being the center. You know, I'm more the type to just do what needs doing and not talk about it. Over the years, it's become this thing where she's always got an opinion on everything, and I'm just supposed to nod and say, yeah, sounds good. It got worse during the pandemic. She started doing this joking thing in front of our friends, making little comments about me not being ambitious or whatever. At first I laughed, but lately she'd say stuff like, oh, well, Zach's just Zach. He wouldn't know what to do with a promotion if it jumped in his lap. Stuff that stings, but not enough that you could call her out without looking oversensitive. Anyway, Sunday I go to use her laptop because mine was out of battery and she's always using mine. She's sitting outside on the phone with her sister, so I just grab it and log in. I open the browser and see her Reddit is still logged in. First thing I see is a post that says, married to a pathetic, spineless loser. He'll never amount to anything. I don't even clock that it's her at first. Then I see her username and it's 100% her. I click it, it's all there. It's this whole post about how I just sat there, didn't say anything, just screenshot everything. I took a couple photos with my phone too, just in case. She came back in, all smiles, and asked if I wanted to order takeout. I said, yeah, whatever you want. She barely looked at me. I went to the bathroom, locked the door, and just stared at my phone for like 15 minutes. I went through every single message, every reply she made. It's not just that she was talking trash. She was basically performing for these strangers, making me look like the biggest idiot on earth. Not once did she mention any of the stuff I actually do for us. It was all about how she has to carry me, that I'm basically her third child. We don't even have kids, so IDK, what the hell that's supposed to mean? I started thinking back to all the times she'd say stuff like, why don't you ever push back, or you never take initiative, but then when I would try to plan something, she'd shoot it down or just change the plan last minute. Her mom does the same thing to her dad, TBH. So maybe that's where she gets it. I always thought it was just her being high-rung, but now I see it's just a control thing. She wants to feel like she's running everything, and if I don't fight her over it, she just thinks I'm weak. She said straight up in front of her friends that she needs a challenge. I always thought she was joking. She's not dumb either. She's always the first to spot when someone's lying or hiding something. So it makes sense she's been careful to keep all this crap on Reddit instead of texting or talking about it on Instagram where I could see, but she screwed up and left it open. I guess she probably thought I'd never figure it out because, lol, why would Zach ever notice, right? Anyway, I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just acted normal. I made small talk. I did the dishes. I even went out and got her favorite ice cream like an idiot. She asked if I wanted to watch something together. I said sure, and sat there next to her on the couch pretending to scroll TikTok, but really just staring at the wall. She kept making these little comments about how nice it is to relax together and how some people just don't get each other like we do. It was so fake it almost made me laugh. I went to bed that night and she tried to snuggle up. I just said I was hot and needed space. She didn't push it, which is weird for her. She just rolled over and went to sleep. I stayed up all night thinking not about what I could have done different, but about how to make her feel the way she made me feel. Not just embarrassed, exposed. I'm not going to just roll over and keep playing the clown in her little show. I'm not going to yell and make a scene either because that's what she's expecting. She thinks I'm too passive to do anything real. She's wrong. I spent most of Monday acting totally normal. She left for yoga. I started making a list in my notes app. Every single thing she cares about. Her friends, her reputation, her organized image, her money, her family, all of it. I'm not going to just ghost her or walk out and make her the victim. I want her to feel the pressure, to watch everything she's built start to slip. Next time she laughs, it's not going to be at me. She came home, tried to pick a fight about the trash not being taken out. I just looked at her and said, I'll do it later. She stared at me, waiting for me to apologize or something, but I didn't. She slammed the door and left again to run errands. I just sat at the table and stared at my phone. I'm not letting this slide. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I haven't told anyone yet, not my parents, not my friends, nobody. I'm just pretending everything is fine. Update 1. Alright, so I'm back. NGL, this is probably not what most people would do, but FR, I don't care. Maybe I just hit that point where you stop thinking about doing the right thing and just start doing what feels right for once, even if it's messy. So for everyone asking, no, I didn't blow up at her that night, didn't do some big dramatic fight or whatever. I just started paying attention to all the little stuff she did and said. Like Sunday morning, she's talking to her mom on speaker, and I walk in and she just goes quiet. Then she smiles and says, "Oh, hey, didn't hear you get up." Her mom asks if I'm making breakfast, and she says, "No, Zach never does breakfast. He just waits for me to feed him." Like that's not even true. But I just nod and go outside. She's always been this way with her family. It's like she needs to look like she's got this dumb husband she has to manage. I used to think it was a weird joke, but now I know she just wants to feel superior. Her mom has this thing about men being useless, so it's like a running gag for them, and I just let it slide for too long. So I started doing the bare minimum. I mean, literally, I stopped doing every single nice thing I ever did for her. Like I didn't put gas in her car when I took it out. I didn't pick up her dry cleaning. I didn't clean out the fridge when it started smelling like death. She started noticing too. First, it was little snarky comments. "Oh, I guess nobody's going to do the dishes unless I ask, huh?" I just said, "Guess not." But what really got her was money. She's obsessed with planning and budgeting, always keeping tabs on what goes where. So I opened a new checking account, set my direct deposit to go there, and only left enough in the joint to cover half the mortgage. I paid my half, nothing more. She texts me at work like, "Hey, did you forget to transfer money for utilities?" I said, "Nah, just splitting things up from now on. Makes it easier." She gives me this look when she gets home, like she wants to yell but doesn't want to look crazy. The next week, she's got this group chat with her 3 best friends, Elizabeth, Sadie, Michelle. All of them always gossiping about everyone else's relationships. She's been hyping up this Vegas trip for months, telling everyone how we're going to go all out. Spa day, bottle service, whatever. I just texted the group, "Yeah, I'm in it, don't ask," and said, "Hey, I can't go. Work's a mess. Y'all have fun." She storms into the bedroom, slams the door, says, "What the hell is wrong with you? You said you'd go." I just said, "Things change." She pushed me. Not even hard, but like trying to get me to react. I just looked at her and said, "You got what you wanted. Do what you..." After that, she starts slipping up. She forgets to RSVP to her cousin's wedding, blames me for not reminding her. Her mom calls and asks why she sounds so stressed, and she just goes off about how I'm being difficult lately. Her mom actually calls me and says, "Is everything all right over there? Ramona seems off." I just said, "Ask her." She didn't like that. Then there's her friends. Sadie comes over with wine and starts sniffing around, asking if we're fighting. I just say, "I don't know. Maybe we are." Sadie looks uncomfortable, but not surprised. I don't think they ever really liked me, just liked having stories about Ramona's man. They always let her vent, but I can tell they're tired of it. Elizabeth texts me later all, "Hey, if you ever need to talk, I'm around." I just leave her on read. I start moving stuff around the house too. All the things I care about, my records, my shoes, my old hoodies, I put them in boxes in the garage. She notices, asks if I'm planning to leave. I just say, "Depends." She slaps me. I don't flinch. She walks out and doesn't come back for hours. She tries to get me to talk, but every time she starts one of her "let's communicate" speeches, I just stonewall. If she wants to complain about me being passive, fine, I'll give her passive. She likes to control everything, so I let her try to control a situation that won't budge. She gets more and more frustrated, starts yelling in the kitchen, throws a mug at the wall. I just clean it up quietly and go to bed. But this isn't just about being cold. I want her to feel the stress in ways she actually cares about. So I started poking holes in her little social empire. She's always the one who makes the plans for our friend group, always the hostess. So next time we had people over, I just didn't help with anything. Didn't clean, didn't shop, didn't set up the playlist. People showed up. The house was a mess. Snacks were trash, and she had to scramble to fix it. Later, she asked why I didn't help, and I just shrugged. She cried in the bathroom, but I didn't go after her. Her family starts to notice, too. Her dad actually calls me, never calls me ever, and asks if I'm cheating or something. I said, nope, just tired. He says, tired of what? I said, tired of pretending. He went quiet and hung up. A few days later, her mom texts me a novel about how I'm letting Ramona fall apart. I don't even answer. I started keeping receipts too, not just the Reddit stuff. Every time she snapped at me, every time she tried to guilt trip me, I wrote it down in my notes. I'm not planning to use it, but it feels good to have it. She's always acted like she's got the moral high ground, but she doesn't even see how mean she is. She thinks it's love to break someone down and build them up again. But I'm not playing that game. The real kicker is she starts trying to get me to apologize for things I didn't do. Like, she says, you never appreciate me. You never say thank you. You never do anything spontaneous. I just say, you don't either. She hates that. She slaps my arm hard and tells me to grow up. I walked out of the house and drove around for an hour. Sent her a text that said, I'll be back when I feel like it. She didn't answer. Her friends start dropping off too. Michelle texts me and says she's worried about Ramona. I just say, you're not the only one. Later, I hear from Sati that Ramona's been telling people I'm emotionally distant and possibly depressed. I just post on my own instance. Feeling fine, just tired of the drama, nothing else. People get the hint. I stopped covering for her with my family too. My mom asked if Ramona was coming to Sunday lunch, and I just said, ask her. I'm not her keeper. My dad looked at me like he wanted to say something, but he didn't. Later, he texted me and said, proud of you for standing up for yourself. First nice thing I'd heard in a week. Over the next few days, she got more and more wound up. She kept asking if I wanted to talk, if we could go to counseling, if I was seeing someone. I just said, no, you're not that lucky. She pushed me again, harder this time, and I told her, if you touch me again, I'm leaving tonight. She backed off, slammed the bathroom door, and started crying loud enough for the neighbors to hear. I'm not sure what she wanted me to do. Maybe beg her to forgive me, promise to try harder, but I'm over it. I want her to see that the only power she had was the kind I let her have. Now she's got to handle her own bills, her own social life, her own family. I'm just here watching her scramble. She's still got no idea what's coming next. And for the record, I haven't told anyone the real reason yet. I haven't shown the Reddit post to anyone. I'm saving that. I want her to really sweat, to wonder if I'm going to blow everything up or just keep ghosting her emotional. She's starting to crack and I can see it every day. She's not dumb, so she knows something's up, but she can't prove anything. Not yet. I'll update when things move again. I'm just getting started. Update 2. So yeah, here's the update nobody in my life actually asked for, but I'm giving it anyway. I know some of y'all in the comments last time said I should just leave, but honestly, I wanted her to feel every bit of this. She always thinks she's so much smarter, so much more in control. Turns out she's not as good at owning the narrative when people actually push back. It started small, like she started being weirdly sweet one morning, made coffee, and put it next to my phone, then acted like it was this big peace offering. I just said thanks and moved on. She followed me around the house for like half an hour trying to talk about what's been going on with us. I just kept my answers short. I'm fine. I'm busy. I'm tired. She hates when she can't get a rise out of me. Later that week, she brought up counseling, which is rich after everything she posted about me. I said, I don't think that's necessary. She goes, well, do you even care about this marriage? I shrugged and said, I care about not being lied to. She blinked and you could tell she thought I was just being dramatic or whatever, but she started working overtime to fix things after that. That's when she started reaching out to everyone. Her mom called me, said, Ramona's worried about you. Asked if I'm depressed. I said, not depressed, just tired of being a prop in someone else's life. Her mom got real quiet, then said I should talk to Ramona more. I just let her finish and hung up. That weekend, she organized this dinner with her family, just her parents, her sister, us. She acted like nothing was wrong, but every time someone asked a normal question, like, how's work? How's the house? She'd jump in and answer for me. Her dad looked annoyed. Her sister just scrolled on her phone the whole time. Halfway through, Ramona leans over and says, can you at least pretend to try? I looked her in the eye and said, I'm not pretending anymore. After dinner, her mom corners me and says, you're not being fair to Ramona. She's trying so hard. I said, you should see what she posts about me online. Her mom's face changed real fast, but she just muttered something about everyone needing to vent. I almost laughed. Ramona came out of the bathroom and saw us talking, stormed over and pushed me. I stepped back. She said, stop making me look bad. I said, you did that yourself. She started raising her voice in the driveway. Her dad told her to lower it. She slammed the car door and we drove home in silence. Next day, she tried a new angle. She texted Sati and Elizabeth, her main two friends that still take her calls, and told them I'd changed overnight and she didn't know what to do. I know because Sati texted me, basically fishing from my side. I said, ask Ramona. She's got all the answers. Sati switched to texting Ramona, and suddenly Ramona got real clingy at home, like following me from room to room. I went outside to mow the lawn, and she stood in the driveway just watching, not saying anything. Later that night, she tried to talk again. I just said, I don't want to talk to someone who calls me pathetic online. She went white and slapped me. I stood up and said, do that again. And I'm gone. She went into the bedroom and slammed the door. I could hear her on the phone, probably calling Sati or Michelle or whoever. but I didn't care. I took a shower, made a sandwich, watched some stupid Netflix show on my phone in the garage. The next morning, she was up early, all put together, and started cleaning the house like a maniac. She kept muttering about how some people just don't appreciate effort. I ignored it. She called her mom, had a loud argument in the kitchen about respect and boundaries. Her mom must have told her to chill because after she hung up, she came in and started crying, ugly and loud. I just sat there and scrolled through my phone. I'm not playing the comfort game anymore. Later that week, I took the next step. I texted her mom and her best friend a screenshot of the original Reddit post. No extra comments, no explanation, just the screen. Then I turned my phone off and went for a walk. When I got back, Ramona was waiting for me, phone in her hand, shaking. She said, "What did you do?" I said, "Just sent the truth." She started screaming, tried to grab my phone. So, I just walked past her and out to the garage. She followed me, pushed me again, but I just kept my back to her. Her phone started blowing up. Her mom called, her sister called. Her group chat started pinging nonstop. She started crying again, tried to say I'd misunderstood what she wrote. I said, "It's your words, own it." She slapped my arm. I told her if she touched me again, I'd leave and never come back. She backed off and locked herself in the bathroom. Her friends started texting, asking what the hell happened. I sent the same screenshot to Sati and Michelle. Michelle left me on read. Sati just said, "I'm sorry." I could tell they were shocked, but honestly, I didn't care. Her mom called again. I didn't answer. Her dad texted me, said he was disappointed in both of us. Whatever, man. That night, she tried to act like nothing happened. Wanted to order pizza, watch some dumb show, sit next to me on the couch. I just said I'm not interested in pretending. She started crying again. Said she never meant it. I just told her to stop lying and left the room. She followed me, tried to block the door, but I pushed past her. She slapped my back as I walked out. The next day, she started talking about splitting the bills and being fair. I just said, "Already done." She asked if I was serious. I said, "I've been serious." She got mad, threw her phone on the couch, stormed into the bedroom, slammed the door. Her family group chat started blowing up. Her mom texted me a wall of text about how could you embarrass her like this. I just replied, "This is who she is, not my problem." Her sister actually called me and said, "I always thought something was off with her, but this is a lot." I just said, "It's your family. You deal with it." By the end of the week, she'd run through every move, crying, yelling, guilt trips, trying to act normal, calling my parents. My mom didn't even answer her, even threatening to post her side on Facebook. I told her, "Go ahead, post whatever you want. Just make sure you post the screenshots too." I started sleeping in the spare room. Told her I'd move my stuff out soon. She tried one last time, made dinner, set the table, wore the dress she knows I like. I sat down, ate in silence, stood up, said thank you, and left the house for a drive. I think she finally got that. I'm not playing anymore. I'm not letting her spin the story, not letting her make herself the victim. If she wants to talk about real men, she can find one somewhere else. I'm done being the punchline. Got a feeling next week's going to be wild. Final update. So yeah, this is probably the last update I ever post about this mess, because honestly, I don't even want to look at her face anymore. And GL, I didn't sleep last night, but not because I was sad or whatever. I just didn't want to deal with her voice, her crying, her lies, any of it. I don't think I've ever been this done with someone in my life. It started yesterday afternoon. She'd been bouncing around the house for hours cleaning, then just sitting at the kitchen table and scrolling her phone. She kept glancing at me like she was expecting me to say something. At one point, she called out from the hallway, said, "Are you really not going to talk to me?" I just said, "What is there left to say?" She got quiet and just kind of wandered back into the bedroom. Around dinner, she tried to get me to sit at the table with her. She made this pasta she only ever cooks when she wants something. I sat down, ate half of it, said thanks, and got up. She followed me into the living room with her arms crossed, blocking the TV, asking if I was ever going to get over myself. I just said, "You got a lot of nerve asking me that after what you posted." She tried to play the victim again, saying everyone was turning on her and that I was making things worse by telling people. I just said, "You did that all by yourself." She got mad, slapped my shoulder, started yelling. I stood up, said, "Keep your hands off me." She went quiet, then slammed the door to the bedroom. I could hear her on the phone with her mom, just sobbing and ranting about how I was ruining her life. After that, I packed a duffel bag with my clothes, grabbed my charger and my earbuds, and left the house. Didn't say a word. I drove to my brother's place. Yeah, I finally told him everything, screenshots and all. Crashed on his couch. He just said, "You should have done this a long time ago, man." I turned my phone off for a few hours. When I turned it back on, I had like 30 missed calls, her mom, her sister, even Sati and Michelle blowing up my notification. All these texts too, some of them begging me to come back, some of them cussing me out. Her mom tried to call my mom, who texted me and said, "Don't answer unless you want to." I didn't. Ramona sent like 10 texts in a row, all in caps. Stuff like, "You're abandoning me, you're the problem, you need help, I'm sorry, please come home." And then straight back to, "I can't believe you're doing this." Her sister tried to guilt trip me, saying, "You're hurting the family, you need to fix this." I left her on read. Around midnight, I got another wave of calls. I just put my phone face down, plugged in my earbuds, and watched dumb TikTok videos until I couldn't keep my eyes open. My brother made coffee this morning, handed me the mug and said, You're not going back, right? I just shook my head. The fallout was everywhere today. I haven't talked to a lawyer or anything yet, but I'm not stupid. I took photos of everything, got my bank stuff sorted, already started moving the rest of my stuff out. I texted her, said I'd be by when she's not home to grab the rest. She sent back a wall of text, half threats, half apologies, then started calling again. I turned off my phone until I was done. She tried to say I owed her a conversation, that I was ruining her reputation and destroying everything she worked for. I said, "You did that all by yourself." She started crying again, tried to say, "You don't understand what I've been through." I told her, "You made your choices, now live with them." She slammed the door and wouldn't look at me. Her friend showed up while I was packing, tried to talk to me. Sati said, "You could at least talk to her." I said, "Ask her why she posted all that crap on Reddit." Michelle looked like she wanted to say something, but just shook her head. I left, didn't look back. So now I'm at my brother's for a few days, sorting out where I'm going to stay next. My parents offered, but I'm not trying to go back home at 33. TBH. I don't feel bad for her at all. Every single time she could have owned up, she doubled down. She treated me like trash for years and thought she could just talk her way out of it when it finally caught up to her. I know some people are going to say I should have handled it different, or that I should have just forgiven and moved on. But honestly, I wanted her to feel it. Really feel it. She cared about her image, her friends, her family's opinion, her perfect life. Now all that's cracked. What's wild is I don't even feel angry anymore. I just feel done. Like I'm finally out of a game I never even wanted to play. I don't know what comes next, but I know it's not going to be with her in the picture. She can post whatever she wants, try to spin it however she wants. Everyone who matters saw who she really is. If you're ever wondering if it's worth standing up for yourself, even if it gets ugly, I don't know. It was for me. I'm not going to pretend I'm some hero. I'm just tired of letting people walk all over me. That's it, I guess. If she keeps blowing up my phone, I'm just blocking her. I don't need her drama anymore. If you see a dude moving boxes out of a house with a pissed-off ex standing in the window, that's probably me. I'll take awkward over fake any day. Done with her. Done with all of it.